Many years ago, in a small village called Umele, there lived two sisters named Uju and Noma. They lived together with their widowed mother, and their father died a long time ago. Uju is older than Noma, and they are both beautiful girls. Uju is stubborn, arrogant, and very disrespectful. She fights with almost everyone in the village, and the villagers avoid her as they already know her character. Uju continued to constantly bring shame and disgrace upon her family, as her mother and sister Norma oftentimes apologizes to people that she offended or fought with. While Norma, the younger sister, on the other hand, is her mother's pride, as she is cool-headed, homely, quiet, easygoing, and very respectful. She is quite different from her elder sister Uju. At 20 years old, suitors have already lined up seeking for Norma's hand in marriage. Among all the men that came for her hand in marriage, Norma decided to choose Okechi, a very fine young man who is doing quite well for himself, handsome and charming too. They both really loved each other. Few months later, they got married. Okechi and Norma loved each other very much. There was love, respect, and understanding in their marriage. But only one thing is missing: children. It has been 4 years since they got married, but no child. They have prayed, waited, consulted many herbalists and healers, took many herbal concoctions, but all to no avail. Norma became greatly disturbed, coupled with the pressure from her mother-in-law to give her a grandchild, for her husband, Okechi, is the only child of his mother. Norma became desperate to give her husband a child. After many sleepless nights with a million thoughts that ran through her mind, she came up with an idea that her husband should get married again to another woman who will bear him children. Okechi vehemently refused his wife's request and pleaded with her for them to wait a little longer to see if they would have their own children. But Norma was adamant about her decision. When Norma saw that her husband, Okechi, was not agreeing to her request, Norma came up with another idea for her husband to marry her sister Uju, since she is still single. Her husband, Okechi, immediately rejected the idea yet again and warned them about the consequences of having two sisters in the same house as co-wives, coupled with Uju's crazy behavior and bad character. But Norma refused to listen to her husband, but instead teamed up with her mother-in-law, and they continued to pressure Okechi until he agreed to their request, but decided to teach both of them a big lesson. When Norma presented the idea to her mother and Uju, her sister, they all refused and immediately rejected the idea. Norma's mother warned her that her sister Uju is a very troublesome person unless she wants to destroy her home. But Norma continued to convince her mother that she wants her sister by her side and would handle her, and also she believed that Uju, her sister, will never treat her bad because they are blood related. At first, Uju rejected the idea, but suddenly agreed after 2 weeks. Unknown to them, Uju is pregnant, and she does not know who is responsible, as she sleeps with numerous men in the village. Everybody was surprised when she informed them in order to cover her shame. Norma and her mother-in-law planned for Uju and Okechi to go on dates to get acquainted with one another before their marriage. It was in one of those dates that they both slept with each other after getting drunk. 2 weeks later, Uju revealed that she is pregnant. Everybody was happy, and immediately the marriage introduction was done, and Okechi promised to marry Uju properly and perform all the marriage rites after Uju delivers her baby. And they took Uju home and started living together. Trouble started immediately. Uju turned her sister Norma to her housemaid. She mistreated her and even denied her access to her husband, Okechi. She constantly reminds Norma that she is doing her a great favor by carrying Okechi's child and also agreeing to marry Okechi when there are numerous men out there waiting for her. Norma became a shadow of herself as she cries every day from the torture she is receiving from her sister Uju. And Okechi did nothing but to side with Uju in order to teach his wife Norma a lesson. Uju went as far as insulting Okechi's mother and stopped her from eating food in her son's house. At a time, Okechi, on the other hand, supported Uju and never did anything to stop her or rebuke her bad behavior. Trouble continued. This continued for some time as Okechi's house turned into a war zone by the numerous arguments, fights, shouting, as well as quarreling from Uju and her sister Norma, until Uju decided to throw Norma's bag away from the house and ask her to go and stay with their mother-in-law in her own house close by. Okechi came back home in the evening and saw Norma outside the house with her bags. After he heard from both of the sisters, Okechi asked Norma to carry her bags and go and stay with his mother, thereby supporting Uju's decision to throw her sister out of her own house. Few months later, Uju delivered a baby boy and immediately started pressuring Okechi to complete her marriage rites so that she will become fully married to him. Okechi agreed. A date was fixed and kinsmen were involved. On the said date, after everybody gathered, Okechi revealed that he will not marry Uju because of her bad behavior and character. That he only agreed to marry Uju in order to teach his wife and his mother a lesson. Everybody was shocked at Okechi's revelation. Uju, realizing that she had been played, used, and dumped, lost her mind as she became furious, and in a fit of rage, she revealed that the child she had does not belong to Okechi, but to one of her boyfriends, and also that she never wanted to marry Okechi, but she just wants to test how marriage looks like. As she wanted to test what marriage looks like, as she does not have feelings or whatsoever for Okechi. They all, in turn, became surprised as well as astonished at Uju's revelation. Scores were settled. 2 months later, after the ugly incident, Norma became pregnant. Everyone became happy. After 9 months, Norma delivered a bouncing baby boy. There were big celebration and jubilation in their family. Everyone became happy and complete, as well as fulfilled. Uju, on the other hand, spent her life as a single mother and remained in her father's house as no man came to marry her ever again. The end.